Izuku would be devastated. Today had not been good for anything. It had been 3 years since his mother's death. His entire class, including the teacher, had made fun of him. Katsuki had told him to commit suicide. He had been attacked by a villain and met the number one hero All Might in the end of breaking his dreams. Now he saw how that villain who had attacked him hours ago now had Bakugo as Rin because of him. Izuku, what can I do? I'm just a Quirkles, I can't help, so why am I running towards that villain? Izuku had started moving even before he noticed him towards the villain. Some heroes tried to stop him but Izuku dodged them and kept running. Izuku, what do I do? What can I do because I've thrown myself at the villain if Katsuki is an asshole? Izuku threw his backpack and it hit the villain in the eye who screamed in pain. Izuku Iva tried to take out Bakugo but the villain recovered and threw a punch at Izuku. Izuku saw everything in slow motion. He saw how the blow was approaching and it was only an impulse but the scream. Izuku, sword start, double cut skill. In Izuku's hand came a sword. Izuku gave a vertical cut and then another horizontal one destroying the villain's tentacle but the villain threw 2 more. Izuku, sword start, double cut skill. Izuku gave 2 more cuts but this time a tentacle hit him directly and sent him flying and Izuku ended up near an area with fire. Villain, damn brat, I'll kill you. Izuku, ability, element usurpation. Izuku absorbed the fire that was near him and stood up and looked at the villain. He put his sword on his back and it began to glow red as the villain approached. Izuku, sword start, elemental cut. Izuku gave a vertical cut wrapped in fire that burned an eye of the villain who released Bakugo and as soon as he released him 2 heroes captured the villain. Hero, boy, that was very reckless. A hero was about to scold Izuku, but suddenly his sword disappeared and Izuku fell unconscious to the ground. The hero quickly went to help him. Izuku woke up and the first thing he saw was a brown-haired man. Izuku, hello Uncle Masaru. Masaru, Izuku, how are you? Izuku, good. Ivan continued talking when a kind of screen appeared in front of Izuku. Izuku began to read what the screen said. Congratulations, you have reached level 2. Reward. Sword skill, cutting fire. Skill, reinforcement. Skill, supersonic. Masaru, do you have a quirk? Izuku, do I have a quirk? They both looked at each other and then hugged. Masaru, you have a quirk, Izuku. Izuku, yes, I can finally be a hero. Suddenly Mitsuka came through the door. Mitsuka, should I scold you or thank you? Izuku, I have awakened a quirk. Mitsuka, fuck the incident, what a quirk. Izuku, it looks like it works like a game. A doctor came through the door. Doctor, well, I see you're fine, so I'm discharging you. Izuku, sorry doctor, could you give me an exam to find out what my quirk is? The doctor looked at Izuku for a few seconds confused but didn't ask questions and did the tests. Doctor, well, your quirk is the first of its kind, so we don't know how it works. Izuku, I see, thanks doctor. So Izuku and the other Bakugo left the hospital. Izuku, and Katsuki. Mitsuka, he stayed home. Izuku, I see. So the 3 went to the house and Mitsuka started to make dinner while Masaru and Izuku were in the courtyard of the house to test Izuku's quirk. Izuku, well if my quirk is like a menu game. Suddenly a screen appeared in front of Izuku where it showed different things. Player. Izuku Shimura Midoriya level 2. Attack, 40. Speed, 78. Strength, 58 weapons, initial sword. Skills, element. Theft level, 2 reinforcement level, 1 supersonic level 1. Weapon skills. Sword skill, / level, 2. Sword skill, elemental / level, 2. Missions. Make 3 / 2/3 make 3 elemental / 1/3 use elemental usurpation skill 1/3 times. Make 3 double cuts. Reward, 30 XP and triple cut skill. Perform 3 elemental slashes, reward, 60 XP. Use elemental stealth skill 3 times. Reward, 50 XP and elemental usurpation skill level up. Items. Starting sword level, 2. Izuku and Masaru were amazed. Izuku, this is. Masaru, amazing. They would both look at each other and start jumping for joy. Izuku, tomorrow I start my training. Masaru, yes, but don't try too hard. Izuku, of course. They both entered and went to the kitchen where Mitsuka was already finishing making dinner. Izuku, I'll put the dishes. Masaru, I'll put the glasses. Mitsuka, Katsuki is going to dinner. The table was already set and everyone was already drunk while they were dining. Mitsuka, so what have you discovered about your quirk? Izuku, it's amazing, it's like I'm in a game. Katsuki, yeah, that sounds like a pathetic quirk. Mitsuka, shut up Katsuki, and I don't want to hear a single bad word towards Izuku since you both will be in the UA. Katsuki, yeah, like this nerd can do something and get into the nail jaw. Meituka was going to scold Katsuki but Izuku spoke up. Izuku, well, you'll see that I'll be at the UA in the hero department. I'll be a hero and no one can say otherwise. Masaru, well said. The next day was Saturday, so Izuku went out for a little run, but when he arrived he passed by a beach full of garbage and Izuku saw the screen. Space mission, clean up the beach in 8 months. Reward. 700 XP. Skill, unknown. Sword skill, unknown sword, unknown weapon and skill, unknown. Accept mission, reject mission. Izuku looked at the mission and accepted the mission. The mission would start the next day. Saved game. Izuku got up and the first thing he did was take a shower, then he put on black pants, a black shirt and a dark green jacket and left his room, greeted Masaru and made some toast. Izuku, where is Aunt Mitsuka? Masaru, he had to go to some work, and what will you do? Izuku, yesterday I got a mission when I was passing by the beach full of garbage. The mission is to clean it in 8 months, and before you ask I can do it however I want, use the skills to be able to do it. Masaru, good, but don't overexert yourself and be careful. Izuku, of course. Izuku finished breakfast and put on his red sneakers, left the house and started jogging until he reached the beach where he started to see the garbage. Izuku, okay, where do I start cleaning? Izuku wondered but didn't realize that he said it out loud and a blonde-haired girl approached him. Blonde, sorry, but you said you were going to clean this beach. Izuku, yes, bye. Blonde, I introduce myself, I'm Melissa Shield and that was my goal too. Izuku, I see, I don't think there's a problem with us both cleaning it. Melissa, I wouldn't have to wait for my teacher to arrive. Izuku, well, let's wait. After a while a pale blonde man arrived at the beach and saw the two talking. All Melissa. Melissa, uncle. All Might approached them and Izuku and he stared at each other. All, you're fan obsessing. Izuku, you dream breaker. Melissa, you know each other. All, yes, he has already seen me in my other form. Melissa, how? How could you be so irresponsible? Izuku, you know I don't care, I just want to clean the beach and that's it, so since the mission has its limit, I'll do the right side and you guys stay on the left and don't let anyone get close to me. Izuku left the area and went to the right area and started moving a few objects and put them in piles. Izuku, initial sword, double slash. Izuku gave 2 cuts that destroyed the scrap that began to disappear and Izuku got the screen. EX:5. Objects, iron. Mission completed. Make 3 double cuts 3/3. X:30 sword. Skill, triple cut. Izuku, well, everything I do has some persecution at my level, that's good to know. New mission. Make 10 double cuts 0-10 reward, 50 XP and double cut level. Up. Make 5 triple slashes 0-5 recommend 40 XP and triple slash level up. Izuku, well provided these 2 skills ability, reinforcement. Increase strength for 3 minutes. Izuku, ability, supersonic. Increase speed for 3 minutes. Izuku, okay, I have 3 minutes to stack things. For 3 minutes Izuku was stacking and stacking, when the 3 minutes were up all the strength and speed points were back to the same and a small beast came out. You cannot use these abilities for another 2 minutes. Izuku, I understand this, well I will destroy everything I have managed to stack. Izuku, initial sword, triple slash. Izuku gave 3 cuts destroying a small scrap tower. Izuku, okay, let's continue like this. Time jump 2 months. User. Izuku Shimura Midoriya level, 7. Atk, 100. Speed, 180. Strength, 170. Agility, 70. Weapons. Initial sword. Skills. Elemental usurpation level, 5. Reinforcement level, 8. Supersonic level, 8. Supervision level, 4. Double exp level, 1. Weapon skills. Sword skill, / level, 9. Sword skill, elemental / level : 10. Sword skill, fire / level, 6. Sword skill, fire / 2 level : 3. Izuku saw that he only had half of his part left, so since it was Saturday he took it off and woke up a little later than usual. He put on some dark blue pants, a white short-sleeved shirt and a black jacket. Lazy and there was no one, Izuku went to the mall. When he arrived he had breakfast in a cafe and then went to a video game store but didn't find anything that interested him. Then he went to a clothing store and bought a black short-sleeved shirt and dark blue sweatpants. Izuku started walking towards his house when he heard something in an alley and went to see what it was. You would see a blonde-haired man and a purple-haired woman talking. Hella Morata, come on, I've already told you that I don't know you and I don't want to go out with you, pervert. Hella Ruvio, come on, doll, you'll have a fun time with me. Izuku, love is here. Izuku grabbed the purple-haired girl by the waist and whispered to her. Izuku, play along. Hella Morata, hello, darling, thank goodness you're here. I was getting tired of waiting. Rubio, hey, who are you? Izuku, you don't care, how about you get out of here now that I'm in a good mood? Rubio, shut up. The blonde threw a lightning bolt. Izuku, ability, elemental usurpation. Izuku absorbed the rays. Izuku, I told you to go. The blonde, scared of Izuku's presence, ran away. Izuku looked at the purple-haired girl. Jiru, thank you, I'm Kyoka Jiru. Izuku, I'm delighted, I'm Izuku Midoriya. Jiru, I know it can be a nuisance but he didn't come alone, he came with 6 more and well even though he could handle them it would help me a lot if you could accompany me to my house. Izuku, of course. So they both started talking. Izuku, and tell me Jiru, what do you study? Jiru, right now I'm training to be able to enter the UA. Izuku, haha, how curious, I'm also training for that. If you want, we can train together and that would benefit us a lot if we're in the same class. Jiru, well, I'll be there, but where is it? Izuku, I'm cleaning Dagobah Beach. Jiru, I see. So they continued getting to know each other until they arrived at Jiru's house. Jiru, thank you very much for joining me. Izuku, don't worry, it was a pleasure meeting you. See you tomorrow at 9 o'clock. Jiru, goodbye. The next day Izuku was already cleaning the beach and Jiru arrived. Jiru, good morning. Izuku, good morning, ready? Jiru, of course. Jiru approached Izuku and he was going to speak but someone interrupted. Melissa, Midoriya. Izuku looked at Melissa. Izuku, something happened, shield. Melissa, yeah, like shit, I'm halfway through if we've only been together for 2 months. Izuku, I'm fast. Melissa, and where are you dumping the trash? Izuku, I destroy it. Melissa, why does he speak so dryly and with more enthusiasm? Izuku, goodbye shield, Jiru, let's begin. Jiruo, of course. Melissa, nice to meet you, I'm Melissa Shield. Jiru, I'm Kyoka Jiru. Izuku, come on Jiru, we have to start and you, Shield, I already told you, get away from me. Melissa, it's unfair, you don't know me, you just don't want to talk to me because of my uncle. Izuku, yeah, I don't like him. Izuku and Jiru started training. Saved game. Izuku and Jiru looked at the area of the beach they had cleaned a few months ago. Izuku, are you ready? Jiru, yeah, sure, and you? Izuku, too. Both friends started walking towards the UA. User. Izuku Shimura Midoriya level, 20. AC, 500. Speed, 800. Strength, 840. Agility, 600. Weapons. Starting sword. Sunset Fang. Black Pain. Skills. Elemental usurpation level, 14. Reinforcement level, 20. Supersonic level : 20. Supervision level, 9. Double exp level, 5. Smoke screen level, 4. 10 hit combo level, 6. 5 hit combo level, 8. Blue flash level, 3. Weapon skills. Sword skill, / level, 16. Sword skill, elemental / level : 20. Sword skill, fire/level, 10. Sword skill, fire/2 level :9. Sword skill, dusk level, 7. Bow skill, crescent shadow level :4. Izuku and Jiru had already arrived at the UA. Izuku, well, I think we'll see each other later. Jiru, yes, see you Midoriya. Izuku went to his seat and saw Katsuki. Izuku, how are you Katsuki? Katsuki, shut up, nerd. So the exam and the explanation of present might past, Lita would only say about the robots. Now Izuku was looking at the door to go to the fake city. Melissa, nervous. Izuku, damn, I'm going to have to see you every day. Melissa, don't be like that, Midoriya. Izuku, say what you want. The doors opened and a blue flash and a yellow flash entered the area. Present, hurry up, those two already have 8 points. So everyone started running. Izuku, black pain. A bow appeared in Izuku's hand. Izuku, bow skill, crescent shadow. Izuku fired an arrow that when it hit a robot caused darkness to envelop the robot and destroy it. 2 robots attacked Izuku but he quickly shot 2 arrows that hit them in the heads destroying them. About 5 robots surrounded a boy who could not do anything against them. Izuku, blue flash. Izuku was on top of the robots. Izuku, 10-hit combo. Izuku did a 10-hit combo and destroyed 4 robots. The 5th one was about to hit him but Izuku circled the robot's arm and landed a punch to its head that destroyed it. Izuku continued to get points. Teacher's room. Nezu, this year there are many promises. Black, yes, the long-haired girl who enlarges her hand. Aizawa, the green-haired boy is doing very well, but I don't understand his quirk. Nezu, Izuku Shimura Midoriya. The room fell silent for a few seconds. All, what did Nezu just say? Nezu, the boy's name is Izuku Shimura Midoriya, his quirk is gamer, it allows him to have the abilities he would have in a game. Everyone stared at the screen. Aizawa, let's see what they're made of. Aizawa pressed a button and everything started to shake. Izuku, what's going on? Suddenly a huge robot appeared but there were also 53-point robots. Everyone started running, but Izuku noticed a girl who had fallen and started running but the people wouldn't let him pass. Izuku, shield. I screamed and Melissa managed to get to his side. Melissa, I think I know what you're saying. Izuku, give me your hand, I can only use it once more, but we will be able to save that girl. Melissa, let's go. Melissa shook Izuku's hand. Izuku, blue flash. Izuku and Melissa were next to the girl. Izuku, how are you? Girl, I can't lift my foot, I twisted it. Izuku picked her up and put her on a building. Izuku, I'll be right back. Izuku stood next to Melissa. Izuku, shield list. Melissa, of course Midoriya. Izuku, Sunset Fang. Izuku and Melissa started running towards the robots. Melissa, smash. Melissa destroyed 5 robots. Izuku, sword skill, sunset. Izuku slashed the air, creating a pressure that destroyed 4 robots, and 2 more launched themselves at his back. Izuku, ability, supersonic. Now Izuku started moving at an even greater speed and cut the 2 robots. Izuku, shield behind me and prepare your best attack. Melissa listened and stood behind Izuku. Izuku, initial sword skill, cutting fire 2 sword skill, dusk. Izuku summoned his second sword and gave a fire cut and another that created a pressure that destroyed 10 robots and fired to another 6. Izuku, I'll change now. Melissa raised her fist. Melissa, Detroit smash 16%. Melissa punched and destroyed all the other 3-point robots. Only the 0.1 remained, which threw its fist and both managed to dodge and started running up its arm. Izuku, sword skill, cutting fire 2. Izuku engulfed his 2 swords in fire and destroyed the robot's arm. Melissa, Detroit smash. Melissa hit a full blow that destroyed the robot's head. Izuku made his swords disappear and began to run for the robot's other arm while it exploded. Melissa fell but Izuku grabbed her arm and put her in the robot's hand so they both ran and when they touched the ground the robot finished exploding. Everyone had their mouths open when they saw what those 2 had done. In the teacher's room they couldn't believe what they had seen. All, what was that? Nezu, 2 heroes, those 2 will go to class. Aizawa, perfect, I have 2 crazy people. Izuku helped the girl they had rescued walk. Girl, thank you very much. By the way, my name is Uraka Ochako. Melissa, I'm Melissa Shield and the bitter one is Izuku Midoriya. Izuku, what do you mean, bitter? Blonde on steroids. Melissa, how did you call me broccoli with legs? Izuku, you'll see, Shield. Uraka, you're weird, you already know each other. Izuku, unfortunately, yes. Melissa, bad luck because. Izuku, you're noisy. Rikoberry, there is someone injured. Uraka, me. He recovered, cured Uraka, and left. Melissa, you know we'll see each other every day, we could get along. Izuku, no. Melissa, but we will share bedrooms. Izuku, what do you mean bedrooms? Melissa, yes, they put them on this year. Izuku, what? No, that wasn't in the brochure. Jiru, yes, this page 3 and small. Izuku, thanks for letting me know, Jiru. Melissa, but it was me. Izuku, goodbye Shield, let's go Jiru. So Izuku and Jiru left. Jiru, I know you explained to me why you don't want to treat Melissa well, but I think you should relax. It's her uncle's fault, not yours. Izuku, yes, maybe, and this is also my way of relating to people. Jiru, I know it's just my bad luck. Izuku, see you tomorrow to see if we've entered. Jiru, goodbye. Saved game. It was a Sunday morning and a young green-haired man would be seen putting a shit in a van. Masaru, here is your last shit. Izuku, thank you. Izuku screwed up and he and Masaru got into the truck and headed to Jiru's house. Masaru, this is the first time I'll see your friend. Izuku, yes and what? Masaru, I'm curious, have you ever had any friends? Izuku, I didn't have that problem. Masaru, you feel bad. Izuku, now there will be people who want to be my friend, but if I didn't have a quirk, would they be my friends? Masaru, I know it's been difficult, but there are people like this girl who would be your friends. You told us that you told her that you were quirkles and I see that she treats you well. Izuku, yes. They both arrived at Jiru's house and knocked on the door. A purple-haired girl opened the door. Mika, hello, what do you need? Izuku, I'm Izuku Midoriya, Jiru's friend. I came to see if you need help moving. Mika, oh, I see you're Midoriya. Yes, come in, Kyoka, you have a visitor. Jiru wandered and saw Izuku. Jiru, Midoriya? What are you doing here? Izuku, I've come to help you with the move. We've rented a van. Jiru, well, thank you very much, come up and help me. Izuku, of course. Mika, and you are Midoriya's father. Masaru, I'm not something like an uncle anymore. Mika, and her parents. Masaru, they died, my wife and I took care of him. Mika, I know this question may be rude, but is he a good boy? Masaru, yes, he is, sometimes he can be somewhat disrespectful or even mocking, but that's his way of being since he is good, it's just that he has a hard time opening up to people. Izuku and Jiru started to unload boxes. Masaru, Daiga, I'll help you. Izuku, no, you've already helped me with my things and Katsuki's. Take a break. Now you would see how they would be at the door of the UA. Aizawa, good morning, you can bring the van just for today. Masaru, thank you. So they arrived and Izuku and Jiru started to unload shit in their beds. Izuku already had his room complete, a bed against the wall, a piece of furniture in front of the bed next to a table, some black curtains, comics and some hero figures decorated the room. Izuku left his room and saw a redhead coming out of the next room. Kirasama, hello, I'm Eijiro Kirasama. Izuku, Izuku Midoriya. Kirasama, I heard that the class is going to be in the common room so we can get to know each other. Izuku, well, let's go. Kirasama, yes. So they both went to the common room where there were already several students. Melissa, Midoriya. Izuku, Shield as lively as ever. Melissa, and you bitter. Jiru, you're already starting and we haven't been here for more than 12 hours. Katsuki, nerd. Everyone looked at the pale-haired boy. Izuku, let it happen, Katsuki. Katsuki, where are my figures? Izuku, blue poop is the one under your clothes. Katsuki, well done nerd. Katsuki left and everyone looked at Izuku. Izuku, what? Kirasama, that's always the case. Izuku, Katsuki yes, you get used to it. A black movie spoke. Momo, you tell him by his name how much confidence. Izuku, we've known each other since we were born and we've lived in the same house for years. Normal, no. Momo, well yes. This is how they introduced themselves. Suddenly a blonde-haired guy and a tuba head came in and saw the class. Mineta, but that's not the girl you tried to date. Denki, yes. Denki approached Jiru. Denki, hi beautiful, do you remember me? Izuku, and you of me. Denki looked at Izuku in fear. Izuku, I'll give you a 2-second head start because I'm feeling generous today. Denki ran away. Jiru, don't fuck with me, I have to live with that guy. Izuku, the moment he does something, he cuts off his hand. Lita, you're not serious, that's not heroic. Izuku, and harassing women is. Lita fell silent. Izuku, I guessed as much. Mina, okay girls, let's have a sleepover. Mina dragged Melissa, Mono, and Jiru. Stuyu went of his own free will and Uraka was in her room, so they picked her up and went to Mina's room. Mina, well, let's introduce ourselves to everyone. Uraka, before that, Shield, thank you very much for rescuing me. Mina, wait Shield, you're the one who beat the 0 points. Melissa, yes and no, Midoriya helped me and it was his plan. Mina, Midoriya who is Midoriya? Jiru, the green-haired boy with a sour face. Mina, to that one. Momo, Jiru and Shield, you already knew each other. Jiru, yes, but we haven't talked much. She and Midoriya don't get along very well. Melissa, he's a bitter person. Jiru, well, only for those Izuku doesn't trust, he's bitter, but those he trusts can see that he's only hiding behind that mask. Tsuyu, and why is she hiding? Jiru, I don't know, but don't ask him either. Izuku and Kirasama were eating pizza. Kirasama, and what is your quirk? Mine allows me to harden my body. Izuku looked at Kirasama and nodded. Izuku, my quirk is called Gamer, it allows me to use skills as if I were in a game. Kirasama, how cool. So Izuku and Kirasama continued talking quietly until 10 at night and then went to their rooms to have their first class the next day. Izuku got his screen. Izuku, ability unlocked. Skill. Wood. This skill allows you to create wood or use it for combat. Izuku, what a strange ability. Saved game. Izuku got up, it was Friday, he changed and went out to breakfast where he met Kirasama. Izuku, what's up Kirasama? Kirasama, well Midoriya. They both started to have breakfast. Kirasama, what do you think we'll do today? Izuku, no idea, hopefully something about heroes finally. Kirasama, yes, Ogala. Jiru and Momo appeared and greeted both of them, and after the girls had breakfast they headed to the academy. Kirasama, I still don't understand the first day Aizawa-sensei called you Shimura but you introduced yourself as Midoriya. Izuku, it's because of a problem my family had with a villain. My grandmother confronted him and almost defeated him. The villain, so that no one could confront him, began to kill my entire family. I'm the only Shimura alive, that's why I use my mother's maiden request so that they don't find me. Momo, wow, I didn't know villains attack the hero's family. Izuku, well, you were wrong, villains only care about reaching their goal, and if they have to kill an entire family, they will do it. So the 4 of them went to the class where there was no one. Boring classes afterwards. Mina, sensei is taking a while. Mineta, he didn't come, he stayed at home. Izuku, sensei sleeps in the dorms with us. The class looked at Izuku. Kirasama, and how do you know that? Izuku, no one has ever wondered why dorms smell like cats. I have, and I started investigating and found sensei's room next to many cats. Jiru was going to talk but All Might go through the door. I'm walking through the door like a normal person. Class A, Shoto Karsuki Izuku, All Might. Okay, I'll be your hero class teacher, ready for today's training, there will be fights so put on your suits. So everyone started putting on their suits. Everyone was in the room to see the explanation of All Might. Jiru, Midoriya, your suit. Everyone looked at Izuku who was wearing his school uniform. Izuku, I forgot object, black suit I. Izuku, that's it. All Might explain the rules and they put on the teams. Well team heroes Midoriya and Uraka and villain team Bakugo and Lita. The 2 teams went to prepare. Mina, who will win? Kirasama, mid-obro. Jiru, I agree with Kirasama. Sato, but Uraka isn't strong and Bakugo and Lita have shown a little more strength. Jiru, Bakugo and Lita are strong but Midoriya is stronger. Izuku and Uraka entered the building and Izuku got a mission. Mission. Defeat Katsuki. Izuku, even my quirk knows that he can be dangerous. Izuku and Uraka were walking but at one point Izuku threw Uraka to the side and dodged an explosion. Bakugo, let's start. Izuku, go away Uraka, Sunset Fang. Izuku summoned his dark katana and got into position. Bakugo threw an explosion but Izuku cut it. Izuku with great speed was in front of Katsuki and punched him that sent him crashing against a wall. Katsuki recovered and threw another explosion but Izuku skidded on the ground and cut Katsuki's leg. Bakugo, bastard, I'll kill you. Bakugo clasped both of his hands and started throwing explosions. Izuku with speed began to cut all the explosions. At one point Katsuki got tired and stopped throwing explosions for a few seconds that Izuku took advantage of and cut his cheek and then kicked him, sending him crashing against the wall. Bakugo, damn nerd, don't think you're such a big deal. Bakugo propelled himself with 2 explosions and was centimeter away from Izuku and launched an explosion that Izuku dodged but Bakugo kicked him. Izuku cared little since he grabbed Katsuki's foot and slammed him against the ground. Bakugo on the ground launched an explosion that made Izuku flinch and one of Katsuki's wristbands lit up and he smiled in a macabre way. Bakugo, well, here you die, nerd. Bakugo raised his arm and saw the safety of his grenade and removed the safety. A large explosion came out of the wristband but Izuku cared little. Izuku, sword skill, dusk. Izuku gave a cut that created a great pressure in the air that destroyed the explosion. Bakugo, how? Izuku used the blue flash and was behind Bakugo. Izuku, I'm stronger than you. Izuku hit Bakugo's neck and knocked him unconscious. Izuku went up and found Uraka tied up and Ida talking about her evil plan. Lita, hero, you're just in time. I'm telling my plan to your partner. Izuku got a drop of water but he didn't waste any time. Izuku, weapon skill, slashing fire too. Izuku punched the air and a stream of fire came out that Ida dodged but he didn't expect Izuku to be waiting for him there with his flexed fist. Izuku, sleep a while, sweetheart. Izuku punched Idia in the face and knocked him unconscious. The heroes win. Congratulations, you've completed the mission, defeat Bakugo. Reward. 1000 exp. Weapon, Blue Sky. Blue Sky ability, King of the Sea. Blue Sky ability. King of the Sea. Ability, Aquatic Breathing. Congratulations, you have reached level 21. Reward. Stir Dark. Izuku stopped reading his rewards and carried Uraka to the observation room. Classy, you've been awesome. Izuku, calm down. So the practice passed without any more interesting fights. Jiru, hey, what did you get after facing Bakugo and Lita? Izuku, do this. Izuku showed his reward to Jiru. Jiru, your quirk is so weird. Izuku, yes. So both friends continued walking towards the bedrooms. Izuku, it's Friday and there's nothing to do. Jiru, yes, what are you thinking about? Izuku, game night. Jiru, yes, what are we playing? Izuku, what do you think of The Last of Us? Jiru, which one? Izuku, both of them. Jiru, perfect, you get some food while I shower. Izuku, okay. So both friends did what they had agreed and spent the night playing. Saved game. This week had been quiet, the only inconvenience was an alarm but it was only the press. Izuku was elected as delegate and Melissa as subdelegate. Now everyone was on the bus going to the USJ. Stuyu, Shield, your quirk is like All Might's. Melissa, you're not wrong Stuyu, they just look alike. All Might doesn't have lightning like me. Kirasama, it's true. Momo, Midoriya, how does your gift work? Izuku, no idea. Izuku spoke in his usual tone. Stuyu, you're always so serious. Jiru, don't even try, he won't change that face he has. Jiru pointed at Izuku's face. Izuku, what's wrong with being serious? Jiru, shall I explain it to you again? Izuku, no need. Lita, what will the USJ be like? Izuku, some facility with various types of terrain to know what to do in each case. They continued talking until they arrived at the USJ and got off the bus and saw Heroine 13. The same thing happens here as in Anime 13, which explains that they can kill with their quirk, and they enter the USJ, and a portal opened in the center and villains began to come out. Aizawa 13 protects the students. Aizawa went for the villains. Izuku, I'll help sensei. 13, no, stay here, if we see that Aizawa can't you will enter. Suddenly a being of darkness appeared behind them. Kurogiri, Phase 2. Kurogiri was about to teleport everyone away, but Kirasama and Bakugo launched themselves but were absorbed by a portal. Izuku summoned the starting sword and launched himself after Kurogiri. Izuku, sword skill, cutting fire. Izuku was behind Kurogiri and launched a fire slash that Kurogiri dodged. Kurogiri was going to create a portal, but Jiru launched a large sound wave and stunned them. Izuku, now 13. 13 used the black Abujaro and absorbed Kurogiri. Izuku, good. Izuku puts away his sword and swung towards the class, but in seconds he was falling into a pond. Izuku, ability, water breathing. Izuku dived into the water and saw a villain who launched himself at him. Izuku dodged him and punched him. Shortly after, Stuyu pulled him out of the water with his tongue and they got on the boat. Stuyu, are you okay, Midoriya? Izuku, yes, and you? Stuyu, yes. Mineta, no, don't you see there are villains? Event. Survive the USJ. The three of them looked at Izuku's screen. Izuku, my quirk is awesome. Stuyu, does your quirk have a conscience or something? Izuku, I don't know, but I don't care, I'll finish off the villains. Mineta, yes, and how do you plan to do that? Izuku, look closely, blue sky. Izuku jumped off the ship with his blue sword in hand and before he even touched the water. Izuku, blue sky, king of the sea. The water became serene and all the villains were immobilized by small whirlpools that wandered from them, and Izuku began to walk through the water and put his sword in the water. All the villains flew out and some water whips followed them to leave them unconscious. Izuku, guys, wander, we have to go with the others. Stuyu, of course. So the three of them went to the shore. They saw how their sensei was being beaten up by a guy on steroids and with a chicken head. Mineta, is that a chicken on steroids? Event manager. Nomu. Izuku, fuck. Izuku looked at the Nomu and towards a light blue-haired man who looked familiar to him. Izuku, blue flash. In a flash, Izuku had taken out Stuyu, Mineta, and Aizawa and brought them to his other companions. Izuku, where is Jiru? Uraka, they're there, that thing is going to attack her. I scream worriedly. Izuku watched as Numo launched himself at Jiru, Momo, Melissa, and an unconscious Denki. Izuku, initial sword of blue flash. In a flash, Izuku had cut off Nomu's arm and stood in front of his companions. Izuku, are you okay, Kyoka? Jiru, Izuku. Izuku, calm down, Kyoka, I'll take care of it. Everyone saw how Nomu regenerated his severed arm. Izuku, shit. Izuku got into a fighting stance with the starting sword in one hand and the blue sky in the other. Melissa stood by his side. Melissa, do you need help? Izuku, I don't like you, but we have to get out of here alive, so yes. Melissa and Izuku went out at a bestial speed. Izuku gave 2 cuts in a row, then he ducked and Melissa punched Nomu in the head. Izuku gave a cut to Nomu's feet and cut them, and before Nomu fell to the ground Melissa kicked him. Nomu grabbed Melissa by the leg and threw Legos at her. Izuku, ability, reinforcement ability, supersonic sword ability, cutting fire 2 blue sky, king of the sea. The initial sword shone, it produced flames and the blue sky produced water and began to give fire or water cuts at Nomu. Nomu did not retreat and launched a fist that Izuku narrowly dodged. Izuku, skill, overseeing hit combo 10. Izuku's eyes turned blue and he started throwing 10 cut combos. Nomu quickly got used to Izuku's speed and threw a punch that sent Izuku flying, but Nomu didn't wait for Melissa to throw a punch to his head. Nomu spun around on his own hegi and grabbed Melissa's head and slammed her into the ground. Melissa didn't say that would defeat her and threw another punch and it shattered Nomu's arm. Melissa was bleeding from her nose and mouth. Melissa, smaz. Melissa hit another punch that shattered half of Nomu's body and he began to regenerate, but a blue flash was winged on him. Izuku, sword skill, triple slash sword skills, slashing fire 2. The blue sky made 3 cuts in a row and the initial sword made a fire cut. Izuku stopped Nomu's regeneration for a few seconds, but Nomu with his other hand threw a fist and Izuku used the starting sword to stop the fist, but the starting sword was destroyed and Izuku unconscious sent flying towards Kyoka, Momo and Denki. Melissa threw a punch that disabled the Nomu, but it took little time to recover and throw a punch that knocked her away, and Nomu began to approach Kyoka, Momo, Denki and Izuku. Kyoka, Izuku wakes up. Kyoka screamed desperately as Nomu approached them. Kyoka, please get up, you can't lose here, do you hear me? You are the strongest. Nomu threw a punch that was stopped by Melissa, who had a bloody arm. Melissa, I won't lose. Melissa jumped in and punched Nomu again, sending him flying. Melissa, and Midoriya, if you stay asleep there I won't be able to defeat this thing. Izuku didn't wake up. Melissa, shit, I'll have to fight alone. Nomu started running towards her. Melissa got into a fighting stance, but 2 shots were heard and Nomu's legs flew off and she fell rolling. Melissa looked behind her and saw Izuku with the stir dark. Izuku, I'm already awake. Izuku sheathed his stir dark and had the urge to scream like the day he woke up his quirk. Izuku, weapon, elucidator. Izuku summoned his new sword and looked at Melissa. Izuku, let's finish that jerk off. Melissa, okay. Melissa and Izuku launched themselves at Nomu and the battle began. Melissa punched and jumped to give free rein to Izuku, who gave 10 consecutive cuts with his 2 swords. Then Izuku moved and Melissa fell to the ground. Melissa, Detroit Smoz. Melissa punched Abu Jero into Nomu's stomach. She got on her knees and Izuku put his foot on her back to propel her. Izuku, ability, Starburst Stream. Izuku's swords began to glow and he launched slash after slash. Izuku, faster, 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 faster. Nomu no longer had time to regenerate. Izuku jumped and raised the blue sky. Izuku, die damn monster. Izuku lowered his sword and destroyed Nomu. Izuku fell to the ground on his knees and released his swords. Shigaraki, damn child. Shigaraki threw himself at Izuku, who didn't see him. Kyoka, Izuku be careful. Shigaraki went to attack Izuku but suddenly saw his face. Shigaraki, Izuku. Izuku managed to draw his stir dark and fired 2 shots that hit Shigaraki's shoulder. Izuku fired a 3rd shot but Kurogiri took Shigaraki, who fell his hand from his face before entering, and Izuku saw him. Izuku, Tenko. Izuku stared at where Shigaraki had been before. The heroes arrived a few seconds later and Izuku sheathed his stir dark and his swords, then went next to Kyoka. Saving game. Kyoka helped Izuku walk to get to the others. Kyoka, are you okay? Izuku, don't worry, just a little sore but nothing that can't be fixed with sleep and food. Suddenly Izuku's menu opened and showed some phrases. Congratulations on reaching level 26. Reward. Ability, illusion ability, invisibility ability, clone weapon, wolf fangs. Congratulations on reaching level 26. Reward, ability, illusion ability, invisibility ability, clone weapon, wolf fangs. There are 2 with that design weapon, yin yang. There are 2 with that design, weapon, yin yang 3. Weapon, dragon scales. Wolf fangs ability, white wolf fangs ability, black wolf yin yang ability, moonlight dragon scales ability, green flare. Wolf fangs ability, white wolf. Wolf fangs ability, black wolf. Yin yang ability, moonlight dragon scales. Ability, green flare. Survive use event completed. Reward. Skill, kunai throw. Skill, stealth. Skill, night vision weapon, red rose. Survive use event completed. Reward, skill, kunai throw skill, stealth skill, night vision weapon, red rose. Reward for defeating the Nomu event boss. Special ability, Will-o'-the-Wisp special ability, demonic pressure special ability, ice beam special ability, divine wind. User. Izuku Shimura Midoriya level, 26. ATK, 2000. Speed, 3500. Strength, 3000. Agility, 3500. Stamina, 2000. Weapons. Sunset Fang. Black Pain. Wolf Fangs. Yin Yang. Dragon Scales. Red Rose. Skills. Elemental Usurpation level, 29. Reinforcement level, 40. Supersonic level, 40. Supervision level, 28. Double exp level, 10. Smoke screen level, 19. 10 hit combo level, 45. 5 hit combo level, 45. Blue flash level, 45. Wood level, 39. Illusion level, 12. Invisibility, level, 12. Clone level, 12. Kunai throw level, 12. Stealth level : 12 Night. Vision level, 12. Weapon skills. Sword, double slash level, 24. Sword, elemental slash level, 15. Sword, fire slashing level, 10. Sword, fire slashing 2 level, 30. Dusk Fang, dusk level, 30. Black Pain, crescent shadow level, 12. Ulf Frangs, white wolf level, 7. Wolf Frangs, black wolf level, 7. Yin Yang, moonlight level, 7. Dragon Scales, green flare level, 7. Special abilities. Special ability, Will-o'-the-Wisp special ability, Demonic Pressure special ability, Ice Beam special ability, Divine Wind. Izuku and Kyoka looked at Izuku's menu in surprise. Kyoka, you get stronger every day and Izuku, it seems so. So they continued walking until they arrived with their companions and where Nezu was seen talking to them. Nezu, okay, we're all here. Would anyone be so kind as to tell us what happened? So they all explained to him what had happened. Nezu, okay guys, get on the bus, we'll go to the dorms. The class got on the bus and Nezu got on along with 13 who hadn't come out so hurt and started driving towards the dorms. Nezu, okay guys, in 2 weeks there will be the sports festival. In those 2 weeks, train as if there were no tomorrow. Of course, today with all these emotions, it's best to rest. You have the next 2 weeks off, but you can't leave the facilities. Class A, understood. Nezu, okay now young Shimura. Izuku looked at Nezu. Nezu, he doesn't usually use the Shimura, why? Izuku, you should already know, my family was destroyed by that maniac. Nezu, I see, so he did go after Nana's family. Izuku, of course, he just made a mistake. Nezu, and that's it? Izuku, leave me alive. Izuku says it with more seriousness than he used to. Everyone on the bus tensed up, but Kyoka spoke quickly to try and avoid trouble. Kyoka, hey Izuku, what movie are we watching? Izuku, well, we wouldn't be able to see one of those old ones from before the quirks. Kyoka, no, we saw those last time, it's time to choose something from the last 5 years. Izuku, fuck. Kyoka, or we play. Izuku, yes, that sounds better to me. Bakugo, nerd, do you have games? Izuku, of course I swallowed the console. Bakugo, isn't that a pleasure? Izuku, what's not nice is that Uncle Masaru and I had to pack your things, you lazy piece of shit. Kirasama, hey Izubro, starting tomorrow I can train with you. Izuku, of course your quick will be very useful to me. Kirasama, for what? Izuku, you'll be a perfect Diana. Lita, Midoriya, you can't say that to a classmate. Izuku, Lita, you don't understand, I use my abilities and improve them and he receives better resistance and he might be able to evolve his quirk and he just has to stay still and hold on. Kirasama, how manly. Kyoka, don't overdo your training or what happened 3 months ago will happen to you. Izuku, that was for not sleeping. Kyoka, and what do you do instead of sleeping? Izuku, watch a scary movie marathon with you. Kyoka, well, that's true. They continued talking until they got to the dorms and everyone got ready. The first thing they did was take a shower and then each one started to relax in their own way. Kirasama was watching manly videos, Lita was tidying up the dorms, almost the whole class was in the common room having tea and watching TV, Minera Asabe and 2 friends were playing video games. Izuku, well, we've finished the entire assassination saga. Do you think we're playing now? Kyoka, we have Kingdom Guard, God of War, Xenoverse, SAO, Monster Hunter, Link, Mario Brothers, Alo, Call of Duty, FIFA, Destiny, Smash Brothers, Go or Pokemon. Izuku, difficult choice. Kyoka, I think God of War. Izuku, well, let's play with that one. So both friends started playing until 2 in the morning when they fell asleep. Saving game. Izuku and Kyoka walked calmly towards the stadium. Kyoka, Well, today is the day. Izuku, yes, today we will prove that we are the next heroes. Kyoka, tell me, Izuku, is your dream still to be number one? Izuku, no, I want to be a hero among the shadows, I'm not interested in cameras. Kirasama, how manly. Izuku and Kyoka looked at Kirasama and Mina. Izuku, and since when were you behind us? Mina, it's been a while, but this fool has given us away. Kyoka, let's go to the waiting room now. So the four began to walk. Mina, and these 2 weeks that you have achieved. Izuku, I won't tell you, you're the competition. Mina, but you said you don't want to be number one. Izuku, I don't want to be the number one hero, that doesn't mean I want to be the winner. So they talked and entered the waiting room where half the class was. Todoroki, shield. Everyone looked at Todoroki and Melissa looked at him seriously. Todoroki, I don't know what relationship you have with All Might, but I will defeat you. Kirasama, a declaration of war. Melissa, well then let's see who is better than Todoroki. Izuku looked at Todoroki seriously. Izuku, Todoroki, can I ask a question? Todoroki, make it Midoriya. Izuku, why don't you use your fire side? Todoroki began to emanate a dark aura and looked at Izuku. Todoroki, you don't care, Midoriya. Everyone was cowed by Todoroki's aura, but suddenly Izuku created a pressure that left Todoroki on his knees and everyone was amazed. Izuku, if you don't use it you won't be able to be the hero you want to be, if you keep dragging your past you'll never be able to move forward. Izuku stopped producing that pressure and sat down. Todoroki was sweating. After 10 minutes they were called to say hello. Might Knit, and now the best student in the class, Izuku Midoriya, could you give a few words? Izuku went up and stood in front of the microphone. Class A, don't mess it up. The whole class was crossing their fingers that Izuku wouldn't mess things up. Izuku, I'll just say that we should prove that the UA is the best academy in Japan and give our plus ultra. Everyone applauded and the class sighed. Izuku, what's going on, why would he sigh? Class A, for nothing. Minot went to a roulette wheel and spun it to see what the first test would be. Minot, okay, first test, maze. A huge maze appeared outside the stadium. Minot, you have to enter and find the exit, but be careful, the walls move and there are obstacles. Everyone went to the entrance. Izuku, guys come. The second class. Izuku, well in this test there is no rule that says we can't team up and that's what we'll do. A few will take flares and point the way for the class, others will take care of the obstacles and the rest. Bakugo, I won't do that. Izuku, Katsuki, if you want to be number one, you should learn to work as a team, because if you can't be a team, you'll never be number one. Bakugo, well, I'll take care of students and obstacles. Izuku, okay, let's do this. The test began in class and Shoto froze the feet of all his opponents. Izuku, Team A to the right, Team B to the left, Team C and D, you know what we have to do. Class A, yes. The class split into 2 groups and started running in different directions. Present, but what do we see? Class A has created a plan to get through the maze as a team, proving that they are the Class A. AYC team. Momo, this is Momo, you're here, Midoriya. I ask for a communicator. Midoriya, if I receive you. Momo, the team has already reached a crossroads. Midoriya crosses out a wall with an X. Momo, of course. So the AYC team kept running. BYD team. Izuku, good to the left. All, yes. Suddenly robots appeared behind him. Izuku, stir dark. Izuku summoned his revolver and began to shoot, destroying 3 robots, but from the smoke created by the destruction of the robots, more came out. Izuku, skill, kunai throw. Izuku threw several kunais that destroyed the remaining robots and so the group continued running but the walls began to change. Izuku, shit, run faster, from the sound of it our area is changing, we have to get out of this area quickly. The BYD group had to run away from the walls but robots appeared. Sato takes care of it. Sato started running towards the robots and started defeating them. Denki, I'll help Sato. Denki ran away but Izuku grabbed his shirt and pulled him away, a wall came between the group and Sato. Izuku, we have to keep going. The group continued running. Izuku, here, group BYD, we have lost Sato. I repeat, we have lost Sato. Momoshit, what happened? Izuku, some robots launched themselves at us while our area was closing. Moma, good luck. Izuku, likewise. AYC Group. Momo, guys, have you heard Midoriya? Kyoka, if those are problems. Katsuki, shut up, we just have to keep going, it's just an extra. Mineta, the trap is already set. Momo, perfect. Several robots appeared in front of them, but Lita destroyed them with a kick and continued running. Present, it's impressive how Class A moves through the maze. Aizawa, it is noticeable that the class has several strategists. Present, I see, well the other students have already been able to start running after leaving the ice of young Todoroki. In the stands. Hero, Class A is good. Hero 2, it's noticeable that they survived the attack of some villains. It would look like Masaru and Mitsuka looked at the screens with proud smiles. Mika, hello Mr. Masaru. Masaru looked at Mika and said hello. Masaru, hello Mrs. Mika. Mitsuka, delighted Mitsuka, Katsuki's mother and Izuku's aunt. Mika, I assume so. I am Kyoka's mother and this is my husband. Kyotoku, delighted I am Kyotoku. Present, the class is impressive, they have known how to take the corrective paths and now almost the entire class is together. Maze. Izuku, you're short on people. Momo, if by bad luck he has been left behind, only we remain. Only Lita, Momo, Kyoka, Bakugo, Uraka and Stuyu remained from the AYC team. From Team BYD there remained Izuku, Melissa, Todoroki, Kirasama and Tokoyami. Izuku, the other groups must face ours in addition to the robots and the changes in the labyrinth. Kyoka, yes. The class continued running and could already see the exit, but the walls were starting to close in. Izuku, shit, run faster. Izuku, Melissa, and Lita were ahead of the entire class thanks to their speed. Todoroki, I can take 2 people with me and my ice ramp. Kyoka, Momo and I. Todoroki, perfect upload. Todoroki quickly took the girls up a ramp, Mina and Kirasama tried to catch up with the others running as fast as they could, Katsuki with his explosions, and Tokoyami ran as fast as he could. And they crossed the finish line. Present, and this year of the first test we have as number 1 a small group from Class A. Saving game. Most of them had already left the maze but only 38 people would be able to participate in the next round. Minot spun the wheel and Duo came out. Mingnit, well, listen to the 38 of you who have left the labyrinth, make a duo with another and you will be sent to a small area where you will have to fight against other duos. Everyone started to ally. Izuku approached Kyoka. Kyoka, I'm sorry Izuku, I met Momo. Izuku, don't worry, I already have someone in mind. Izuku approached Shoto who was alone. Izuku, team. Shoto looked at Izuku and just nodded. After a few minutes everyone had teams and they put them in an area. The fight wouldn't end until only 4 teams were left. Izuku and Shoto were on top of a building looking at the entire fake city. Shoto, what's the plan? Izuku, before starting Todoroki, I don't know why you don't want to use your fire, but I'll only tell you once. That's your quirk, ice and fire. You need both sides to fight. You can't always fight with only 50% of your power. Just think about that. The plan is to attack duos that we know are weak so we can reach the last stage with enough energy. Shoto, okay, and I'll think about what you told me. Izuku, okay, let's move. Shoto and Izuku began to go down the building, Izuku Iva in front with stir dark in hand. They heard someone moving around the building and went stealthily to see. It was a general studies student and another maintenance student. Izuku looked at Shoto and Izuku a sign that the Iva for the purple-haired boy and he for the other. Shoto nodded. Izuku spoke carefully with his camouflage activated and put his arm around the purple-haired boy's neck and began to fist him. Shoto froze the other and punched him that made him unconscious. Present, 4 groups have already fallen. Izuku, okay, let's continue. Shoto and Izuku continued going down the building but there was no one there. Shoto, where are we going? Izuku, I'm telling you. Izuku took out a map and started looking at where they were. Izuku, we're here in the buildings, we'll advance through the alleys towards the outskirts and set traps for the others. Shoto, okay, let's do it. Izuku and Shoto finished going down and went through the alleys. There were 2 groups near them but they weren't fighting but talking. Student, we have no chance against Class A OB so we'll join forces. Student 3, is that allowed? Student 2, those in Class A did it last time. Izuku, let's stop these. Shoto, okay, but how? Izuku, let's do this. The group started to move, but a kunai knocked over a trash can and the four were on alert. A shadow was seen going from one roof to another. Student 4, there is someone. Student, it's cold. Student 4, it's not you. The first student was already frozen. Student 3, shit, they're attacking us. The second student complained and someone took him into the darkness. Student 4, let's go. Student 3, yes. They were going to run away, but Izuku kneed one of them in the face and Shoto punched him in the abdomen with fire. Present, this is impressive what we just saw. That duo is stealthy, not the next thing. Izuku and Shoto continued talking until they saw two from Class B. Kendo, okay Monoma, this is the plan. Monoma, go for the pathetic Class A. Kendo, no, we have to hold on until the elimination limit is reached. Monoma, we're not going to class. Izuku, what do we do? I don't know what his gifts are. Shoto, we'll have to use some less stealthy movement and run away through the shadows so they don't find us. Izuku, okay, let's do it. Shoto created ice, but Kendo and Monoma jumped over it. Kendo, I already knew you were there. Izuku started moving through the shadows and Shoto launched himself at them. Shoto threw some fire, Monoma turned into metal and stood in front of Kendo. Izuku came out behind them. Izuku, Sunset Fang, slashing fire. Izuku slashed and a stream of fire went towards Kendo's back, which hit him. Kendo, ha! Izuku put away his sword and lunged at Kendo and threw a punch. Monoma stood in front of Kendo, but he didn't expect Izuku to hit so hard. Monoma was knocked out and Kendo was frozen. Izuku and Shoto ran into the shadows so no one could see them but Izuku, shit ability, smoke screen. Izuku created smoke and took Shoto to the street. Shoto, what are you doing? We're coming out of the shadow. Izuku, Katsuki and Melissa follow us. And then Melissa appeared, releasing yellow rays, and she threw a smash that destroyed the area. Melissa and Bakugo stood in front of them. Izuku, I'm going for shield, you for Katsuki. Shoto, no, I will fight against shield. Izuku, listen to me, she's at the same level as that monster. It's not to say that you're weak, but she's very strong. Only I can stand up to her right now. Shoto, good. Izuku, let's do this, blue sky hallucination. Izuku summoned his blue and black sword and looked at Melissa. Melissa launched herself at him and he did the same. Izuku slashed and Melissa a blow. Both dodged each other's blow and so a combo battle began. Izuku slashed but neither hit him. Melissa punched but Izuku dodged by wandering around his body and launched a slash that Melissa dodged, but Izuku was able to cut a lock of her hair. Izuku, blue sky, king of the sea ability, cutting fire. Water coming out of one sword and fire from the other. Izuku slashed with his water sword that hit Melissa, who went flying. Izuku in a flash was in front of her and connected several cuts, but Melissa punched him in the stomach that made Izuku fly against a building. Melissa followed her and went up to the building where she threw a punch that destroyed the entire building and sent Izuku 5 stories up. Izuku started to counterattack but present, it's over, there are only 4 teams left and we'll say how the fights will be. Izuku vs Momo, Kirisuma vs Shoto. Kyoka vs Katsuki, Mina vs Melissa. Izuku vs Momo. Izuku looked at Momo and she looked at him. They were about 10 meters away from each other. Momo, you know from the first day I've wanted to fight a sword duel against you. Izuku, even if it's a sword fight. Momo created a katana and Izuku summoned the dragon scale and they launched themselves. Saved game.